everybody. Good morning. And it is June 1st, which means that it is World Milk Day. So you guys, thank you so much for celebrating with Dairy Discovery. Dairy Discovery is a nonprofit program, and we provide you with a personal connection to your food. So over oh, it kind of cut off.
It's all right.
Is it still going?
Yeah,
okay.
it's good.
So we have hosted tens of thousands of people to our farm, and we just pride ourselves on giving them all these experiences on a farm where we said, like, unprecedented times, unprecedented events. So that's what we're doing right now. You are joining us for a 24-hour live stream telethon. So what that means is, old school telethon, you don't have to call in your rotary phone and call and talk to the operator. You can just add a tip or a donation right on our Facebook page. You can go to shop now, just click on that. Just give us $2, because we're gonna come at you for 24 hours straight. We are in hour 6. You guys might have just woken up, but we've been going since midnight because we wanted to celebrate all of World Milk Day. We have an action-packed schedule for you. We've already talked to, 2 or 3 people from Europe. We've visited the parlor. We visited the freestyle barn. What else did we do? Oh, we've had a Napoleon Dynamite visit, skit from the Caledonia FFA. Saw some baby kitties. I got bit by the cow Blanca when I was in the barn. That hurt. We've just had a great time while you guys were all in bed, snuggled up and nice and warm. And it is cold here. It's 42 degrees.
41.
And 41. And it's June 1st, so this is crazy. But yeah, we would just love it if you guys would participate and enjoy all the events that we've got coming at you. You can check out our website for the full list of the lineup that we've got for the rest of the day. Right now, you guys don't even know where you're going. It's like a surprise. We are going to the Maple Syrup Sugar Shack. We're going to show you just a little bit about the history behind Swiss Lane Farms. This is not really part of our profitability portfolio, but is definitely a big part of our family tradition. So if you kind of think about it, if we're heading back to these woods, we're driving along this field, along the creek, and there's been 7 generations. Or my niece just had, she's on her about to have her 2nd child. So 7 generations of our family have been making maple syrup back in these woods from these same trees, and it's just so cool to think about. We're just one small part of that, right? So 95 years is what we're trying to make. Oh, there's a deer. You guys can see that. Frolicking through the hay that hopefully we'll cut in the next few weeks here. No, he's looking at us. What are you doing?
I know.
So, yeah, I got totally distracted. It's so pretty. Look at the fog. Oh, okay. Sorry. Disrupting their schedule, not used to that. But yeah, so if you think about our family, we're always trying to figure out how can we do things better, how can we leave it better for the next generation, and this syrup is just part of just kind of we love it because it's a way to celebrate, we made it through winter. Right. in March, it's maple syrup month, and it's just kind of family bonding. And it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of physical labor, but it's just so good. If you guys are ready for the next hour, we're going to have breakfast. We're going to have pancakes. We make these, we call them Swiss pancakes, and we have this maple syrup on it, and it's just family tradition all over it. We just love the maple syrup paired with those crepes or pancakes, Swiss pancakes, whatever you want to call them. So just a little background. We just got off of a Zoom call, so you guys will have to go back to that post. I was talking to WT Farm Girl, and she's a 1st generation farmer, and I was like, well, I think I'm 5th generation farmer, but for the last, I don't know how long, I've been saying 4th generation farmer. Well, the funny thing is this sugar shack kind of ties into that story. My great-grandpa came over from Switzerland in early 1900s, and then he started working at the Wingeier farm, and then he ended up marrying the farmer's daughter, Lucy Wingeier. Oh my gosh, look at these deer up here. Oh, 4 of them. Okay, sorry, I'm totally ADD. But they're so pretty. I wanted you guys, can you see them good?
Yep, I zoomed in on them. They're all, you can see the white tail.
We're just disrupting them.
I know, they're probably like nobody's out here in the morning.
It's pretty, you know. You guys get to see it and enjoy. So thank you, dear, for that. Yeah, so he marries Lucy Wingeier, and then they bought the 90 acres that is now Swiss Lane Farms today. So we always said that's 4th generation from when Fred Ursch bought that farm. But Lucy was a farmer. So if you think about the Wingeier, Ferdinand Wingeier was her dad. So that would have been my great-grandpa. So I think I'm actually 5th generation, and we are on the land that was originally the Wingeiers, not Fred Ursch's original 90 acres. So we're farming this ground and producing maple syrup off of what was the Wingeier farm. So it's been owned by the same family since 1895. You know what? The barn is still there on the way back. We're gonna look at, and so you can fact check me. Okay. So here we are at the sugar shack. Yeah, we just built and kind of invested in this sugar shack and updated it or rebuilt it in 2011. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it. It was a big investment, but we knew like if we didn't do something quick, we weren't going to be, you know, passing it down for another generation. You got to invest in order to keep the ball rolling, right? So let's learn a little bit about maple syrup. First of all, most important thing about maple syrup is trees. So which trees? You need hard maple trees. You can't just go out and pick any old tree and think you're going to get syrup. Well, you might get some syrup, but it might not be very good. So that's important. The next thing is the time of year. It's pretty much March is maple syrup month for the reason because that's when the trees start to wake up and that sap starts running up and down the tree. And then if you put a little tap in there, I've actually got a style to show you. Oh, the cool thing about the Michigan is that this region of the world is the only spot in the whole world where the maple syrup, or the right trees are for maple syrup. So you have to have a sugar maple. So how you can tell that, because usually you tap the trees around the 1st of March, or for us this year, I think it was the last week in February. You got to tell it by the bark. And that's pretty hard when you're out looking amongst all these trees. So this makes up, this sugar maple woods is about 20 acres. So let's talk a little bit more about how the process begins. So this is totally old school, but you could like drill this into the tree. And this is called, well, it's called drill, but you would have to put the spile in the tree. So you can kind of pound that. First you make the hole. I forgot to tell you that. Make the hole. And then you pound that spile in the tree. And then you place the bucket here. So we can go to the trees and look at that. Take that with us. And then we're also going to talk about lines. So the sap will just drip into that tree. And we've got to come and like collect all the sap. So we bring this wagon around the whole woods, and we have to haul all these buckets and dump them into this wagon and then bring all the sap back to this the sugar shack. And we used to have to like, I mean, for some people it'd be fun and they'd want to do it like on a day where it's nice and sunny and warm, but then the next day it'd be cold and rainy and we got to get these buckets dumped and who wants to come out here? So we decided to update in the last couple of years and add some lines. So we're going to kind of talk about buckets versus lines. Why don't you guys come with me? We're going to do a little walk. Got to make sure we're on time because I've got coffee coming in a little bit. So keep me,
it's 6:30.
pretty good. So, yeah. Oh, the other thing that's really important for when you're going to go out and tap is you have to make sure the trees are right size. You can't just go tapping a small tree because that will damage it. It has to be the right size. And a lot of people say, does that hurt the tree? Well, I heard somebody saying, like, it's kind of like you giving blood. It's not going to hurt you unless you don't do it at the right time or if you're not at the right stage. And so we kind of determine which trees. And we've had to, what is it called, like harvest or like come in and harvest trees out of here because they're so big. And like I said, we've been doing this since the late 1800s, so I think the trees are doing pretty good. So that's a good sign. I think there's a lot of metals, so I'll just walk in here and kind of show you with this. I don't know if you can zoom instead of.
Don't fall.
Usually there's no weeds, but and I'm not gonna go all the way in because it's not kind of the year to do this. But okay, so I made like this little hole, right? And then I can pound that in with a hammer. And then once, so it has to get down to like below freezing. Yeah, can you see me? Okay.
Yeah.
Down below freezing in the night, and then warm up and be really sunny during the day to about 45 or 50. And that's when the sap really starts going up and down. And so your buckets will be overflowing. So those are kind of the conditions you need. The saps stay good for about maybe 4 to 6 weeks. After that, they start to dry out, and they'll start to get some like bacteria growth in there, and your sap will or your syrup won't be tasting quite as good. So those are some of the disadvantages of the kind of spile and bucket method. So we're gonna go show you what we did. I'm afraid you guys are gonna. We don't have a big booth. Let's try to just go this way. Maybe you can just see them through. But I want to show you the lines. So we put in these lines instead of putting hanging buckets on the trees. We just put the spile in the tree, and then you don't put a bucket on it. You just put a line right over that, and you can let the sap travel through like a little hose. This is not going to be good for you guys. We didn't put a road back here yet, so. Yeah, anyway, we have these, like that's one of the big tubes that we have. So we have all these tiny lines going and feeding into these tubes. So we just hook a plastic line going into the big tube, and then we run the big tube right into the sugar shack. So we don't have to go and heave these heavy buckets of sap all around the woods. So yeah, let's go into the sugar shack, learn a little bit about what we do in there, the process. Let's do that. So the other thing that really surprises people when they come out to help us with maple syrup for the first time is they're like, it just looks like water. And it does. It's just really clear liquid, but if you taste it, it's really sweet. And so what that is the sap is just sugary water. So what you have to do is boil out all that water. That's basically how you make maple syrup. You just boil it. It's gonna be, is it a little dark in here? I don't know if I can see very good.
It's a little dark.
Yeah. So we can just bring this outside.
Do you have your...
That's pretty well. I think turn the lights on. We're in the wilderness. So if you're just joining us, it is like, what, 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Sun just came up, and we are just looking at the sugar shack. So this is how to make maple syrup. Tap the tree with a spile, we already did that. Or hang a bucket or run the lines. The sap from the buckets are dumped into the gathering wagon, then dumped into the holding tank, or it just comes in through the lines, which is way easier. The water is evaporated out of the sap in the evaporating pan, and then as it thickens, it moves through the finishing pan. When the sap reaches 219 degrees, which is very important, it's just kind of like when you're making candy, you have to get to that exact temperature. The valve opens, dumps the syrup into the draw-off pan. Syrup is filtered through the filter press, and moves into the water jacket canner. Then it's canned at 180 degrees and served to our in these beautiful bottles to our customers. So I'm going to kind of show you some of the, we talked about the lines, talked about the buckets, but we're going to talk about the can and stuff in here. So I think you can see this stuff pretty good. So this is our evaporating pan. And so that sits on this, we call it the arch. And what it does is we build the fire back here. So this would all be covered with a pan. So we open up this door right here, and we have a giant, like, raging fire in there. And it would be really, really hot over the finishing pan where your syrup's going to come off. But up here in the evaporating pan, it's just up here like heating that water and trying to get a lot of the water out of the sat. And as it gets heavier, it pushes it through the finishing pan. And so the really like thin sat is over there, and as it goes through all these little channels, it pushes it over till it's a lot thicker and almost syrup. So when it hits 219 degrees, these little valves open, and we have these cans here, it dumps in. We have this thermometer right here. I mean, nothing's on or anything because it's not syrup season anymore, but this will automatically open that valve. And then as soon as it hits 220 or 218 degrees, it shuts it off. So it hits 219, you're going to get syrup, and then 218 shuts it off. So it's kind of nice to have that. Before, we just have to use these thermometers, and it was just hard to really tell. So what you're going to get is, if you have 218 degrees instead of 219, is you'll have a lot more water still in your syrup. It'll be really watery, and you don't really want that. It's not the best quality. So you gotta, it's all about quality, right? So then after the syrup is at 219 degrees, gets drained out, we dump it into these filters and we push it through a filter press. After that, because there will be some, I mean, it's just sat and boiled down, so it's so pure, but there are some, just like, it's called sugar sand, and so we filter that out. After we do that, we put it in the canner, and then I think we've got some samples of our syrup back here for you guys to kind of look at. It is a little bit dark right here, so I can hold it up. I don't know if that helps you just see it a little bit better. So that's some of our syrup. We're gonna do a milk toast back here. So did we have yeah, we didn't have our dairy product of the hour is the coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have Dalgona coffee in just a little bit, but we wanted to do a milk toast back here because we love, I've become obsessed with maple milk. And so I just had to find a reason why we needed to have a maple milk toast. We kicked off the whole night. If you guys weren't able to join us at midnight today,
Yep.
which was 6 hours ago, we started the night with a milk toast, and then so we just had to have one more milk toast here back in the sugar shack just to have a maple milk. So you dump, instead of chocolate milk, we just add maple syrup to it. And so if you guys run out of your Hershey's chocolate syrup or whatever, like, no worries, just add some syrup to the milk. That's a lot. That one's yours. Yeah, you don't need very much. So it's like a little shot. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna take this one. I don't need that much sugar, so thank you guys.
I need it.
So yeah, we like to use, so just swirl it around. You see, yeah, the viscosity on that maple syrup is really heavy. So it doesn't mix quite as good as chocolate syrup, so you gotta really stir it quite a bit. You might have to re-stir it a few times, but it's so good, you guys. So I'll do this instead of ice cream, or, you know, instead of a late night snack. Just grab some maple milk. It's so good. You guys do that? You never?
No, I've never heard of that
my
before.
gosh. Yeah. Well, welcome. Okay. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Did you get it stirred enough?
Mm.
You don't like it?
No, I do.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's mixing my two favorite things, milk and maple syrup. So, and that's what we make at our farm. We make milk, we make maple syrup, and you'll head to the store later. You see that we also have some beef too. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. What else do I have to tell you about the maple syrup? We talked about all that stuff. I think it is time for us to go back, and I wanted to show you that barn where my great grandpa started out, and yeah, then we'll head over to see Rachel at Brody's Bee Cafe. So you guys got to stay with us. And I don't know if you're just joining us, but right now, I'm Annie. You guys are part of the 24-hour live streaming telethon for Dairy Discovery celebrating World Milk Day. Thank you so much. And go ahead and click the Shop Now button. You can give us a tip if you learned something or if you just thought we're crazy for staying up for so many hours in a row.
Right.
And or if we're just entertained, go ahead and click that button. And thank you guys so much. We hope you have a great day.